No, he went with the, and I went with the clear black sheep. I told you I couldn't find anything. I was like, wait a minute.
What's on my desk?
Yeah. Before we jumped on, I went to go check and see about where's our mascots and stuff, and I couldn't find it. I'm like, Troy, I'm about to improvise. And all I could think about was the thing that's holding
your clips.
My paper clip. So yeah, there we go. Welcome everybody to another edition of Zia Comic Weekly, where for the next half hour we get to be nerds. All of us together. We get to all be nerds together and have
sharing
fun.
the nerddom.
And we get to spread the nerd wisdom of
Namaste.
Troy. Yes, we need to start having our own saying at the beginning of every show. Of course, checking in from Zia Comics, we got my man Troy. What's going on, Troy? How you been?
Tired.
Oh man,
lots of stuff going on. Yeah,
between this heat and this rain, it can't make up his mind, man. I don't even know what to think anymore.
Yeah, man, this heat is 100-degree heat. It rains and it's still 100 degrees. I don't understand.
I know. Yesterday we were out there by we were in downtown yesterday, and we I guess missed the rain. So we're driving by. I was like, so it rained here, I guess, huh? So I'm assuming for like 30 seconds it rained and then stopped. So just to get a nice boil.
Yeah. Make the sidewalk steam.
Yeah, that's probably not. I mean, then it might be good for me because then I can say that I went to the spa later.
An outdoor sauna.
Guys, if there's something you guys want us to talk about today, if you want to jump in on the conversation, remember, just right there, you'll see the comments. Go ahead and let us know. Jump in, let us know if there's anything you guys want us to talk about. We got quite a few things to get to. Let's start off with we'll go back to Minions, Rise of Gru. I know we talked about that last week, and I got a chance to see it.
And?
Troy, if you are a fan of Minions, which I am, there are, of course, those little hints at the old Despicable Me movies, which obviously, you see all the little references from the first one, the second one, and all that other stuff. But Troy, I think you're on to something, man. I think that there's nothing much more they can really do with those guys.
Well, they probably can. They just didn't.
Yeah, like they just we're gonna turn them into a chicken. Here you go.
You know what they like when they turn into other things.
No, it was, and you're right, it was all Gru. So technically they could have just called this Despicable Me. I did enjoy, of course, the old references to the older movies. The soundtrack is always amazing, so you always get those references, those old songs from back in the day, which obviously they're trying to take you back to when he was younger. But other than that, man, I liked it, but I expected more.
Underwhelmed, I think, is a good way to say it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, because I really went in there. I was like, man, I think Troy's just hating. And then at the end,
I like the Minions, and I went in with high expectations, and I was just meh.
Yeah, no, and that was the bad thing, man, because I watched that movie, but it probably doesn't help because before that, we went and watched the #1 movie in all the land, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, it's tearing up the box office.
I know, man. Definitely they reached the goal that they wanted, 300 million worldwide, which is what they had estimated. I believe they got to 309 opening weekend worldwide. So definitely pretty good. Did you get a chance to see it?
Yes.
All right. Oh, yes. Oh, this is going to be exciting, man. All right. So let's get first reactions. No spoilers just yet, because I know this weekend many are going to try to catch it because they didn't catch it last weekend. Overall expectations, was this everything that we wanted from a Thor movie?
I was happy with it. There was a lot more comedy in this one, but with Taika Waititi, you got to expect you're going to get a lot more comedy.
Yeah. Between that, it seemed a little bit more on the romance side. Obviously with a title like Love and Thunder, there was a lot more of the soap opera type back and forth. Yeah,
well, they said they made them cut like 15 to 20 minutes out of it, and a lot of that was gore. So you didn't get to see as much of Gore the God Butcher as they originally wanted, but he still came across pretty formidable. He messed a lot of stuff up for a lot of people. So
Yeah, and believe it or not, I was able to kind of break that down for my wife because she's like, "Well, where does he play into all this?" And I was like, "Well, I could see someone wasn't paying attention to the podcast."
Well, actually,
Yeah, so I honestly I had that moment where I'm like, "Hey," and of course I'm not trying to talk in the theaters either, so I'm just kind of like, "So what's gonna happen
yeah,
and so I try not to be that disruptive theater goer that's gonna be talking throughout the whole movie.
yeah. No, I enjoyed it. It's I think it's a little different than the previous MCU stuff. But I kind of, when I saw Taika Waititi is doing it, I kind of expected it to be a little heavier on the comedy side, but
Yeah.
there was still some action in there, so I
Yeah,
wasn't upset.
I think my biggest takeaway from it was I felt like it moved pretty fast. Like I felt like I
Yeah,
mean, they cut it moved fast, right?
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
So
That's the one gripe I have is they did it right with Thanos. It took them 3, 4 movies to get rid of that dude. I
yeah.
don't like this where they introduce a villain and then by the end of the movie they got rid of him. That doesn't say that he's a good villain. Then if you got rid of him in one issue, 1 movie.
Especially because he plays and I'm assuming when it comes to the comic, he has such a tremendous role, this villain,
Mhm.
that you see it in one movie that he's gone. But in the comic book series, there's just so much that takes place with him.
Yeah, yeah. In the comic books, it was close. They changed it a little bit. I'm not upset how they changed it, but uh, kind of the same premise. And he really and he messes Thor up for a while because in the comic books, uh, you know, Gore is preaching that the gods are not worthy and blah blah blah. And what makes Thor? Nick Fury comes up and whispers in Thor's ear. He says, Gore was right. And then that
Yeah.
put doubt in Thor's head, and then boom, he couldn't lift the hammer anymore.
See, and I was kind of wondering what was gonna happen along the lines of the hammer. Can we talk about just the romantic side of the hammer and the battle axe? Oh man, it was
Mjolnir and
I mean,
Stormbreaker, yeah,
yeah, I mean, it was great because he's calling for him, and it's like and
the
then the fact
jilted
that he has a
lover.
oh man, it was the conversation that he has with with Stormbreaker, like, "I know my ex is back in the picture," and you don't know if he's talking about a mighty Thor or if he's talking about the hammer,
Or
so
both, all the
it
above.
it could have been, but, classic moment, and you guys will see it. We're not like I said, I don't wanna
Are we
divulge
okay?
too much. Yeah, yeah, that part. Are we okay? And, 'cause it just I mean, it's every romantic story where the guy's like, "Hey, are we gonna be okay?" But the fact that he's having this conversation with his with Stormbreaker, it's just
Yeah,
hilarious.
I guess you call that a love rectangle then, because there's 4 of them if you count Jane.
Yeah, he's like, man, you know what? Y'all be giving Thor a hard time. Look at what he had to go through between that love rectangle. That's a lot.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, Natalie Portman got a little jacked. She had
Okay,
some guns when you
I
saw
saw
the
that. I
yeah,
was like, "Okay, somebody did
somebody hit the gym.
man." I was like, either that or, I need to get that type of CGI for this show to see how my arms look all but no, I that was the first thing I kept looking, I was like, "Man, her arms are really, like"
Yeah, she got buff for the
yeah.
movie.
So, I mean,
So
it goes back to what we said, like, man, these actors, they really play into it, man. When it's time to get jacked for a role or to get fat for a role, they go
well,
all in.
except for Russell Crowe, I don't think he did much to play Zeus.
Oh my God, Russell Crowe, man. A round of
He
applause
killed
for
it
Russell
though.
Crowe. Oh, it was good, man. It was really good. And even though I knew who he was gonna play, I still had that. I don't know about you. Did you still have that surprise element where like, like we're gonna see Zeus?
I was just kind of I didn't know how they were going to portray him, but they portrayed him as basically he's the god of gods. He's the
Yeah,
big boy.
it's
And I it stuck in my head him coming down the steps holding the skirt up to the sides.
that is how I plan on walking down steps every time from now on.
Whether you're wearing a skirt or not. Just
Right, whether I'm not my wife actually caught that part. She's like, "Look at him running down the steps." I'm like, "Well," I was like, "Oh my gosh." It's perfect. So, no, it was, hands down, I think it was a great movie. I enjoyed it. Um, what do you think? Up, down, side? What are we giving it?
I give it a thumbs up. Like I said,
Thumbs up?
it's not my favorite MCU movie, but it's definitely not my least favorite. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. But Troy, I think we're getting that balance now with MCU because we just a couple of months ago, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It was a little dark. I mean, and I think a lot of people took that away. It was dark.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, Multiverse of Madness, you kind of hard to make a comedy out of a name like that.
Right. No, I mean, but even whenever they would try to put in that comedic relief, it was kind of tough because
Yeah,
I mean, it was definitely, I mean, we're gonna get these movies where you're gonna get the dark roles, the dark serious roles. And then with Thor, it was a little light, but now that just prepares us for whatever movie's gonna be next. It's like, okay, what are we in for?
yeah, yeah. And I don't remember the timeline. I'm not sure what movie's next. Wow, I'd have to look that up.
Uh,
But yeah, I mean, I kind of like that balance. It can't be like DC and every movie be dark and brooding.
yeah.
That makes people depressed. You got to have some fun every now and then.
Yeah, especially because we're going back to the movie theaters now. I mean, if you guys recall, there was a while that we weren't going. So I think it's just awesome, man, the experience to go back and be able to enjoy these movies. I know critics really gave Thor: Love and Thunder a hard time because I don't know if that's what they were just expecting, like this action pack. But it's like, man, we also need to laugh a little bit. And there was still the action there, man. It was still there.
Yeah. I don't too much listen to the critics anymore because
Yeah.
I don't know what they're expecting, but the general populace doesn't jive with them. I always go to Rotten Tomatoes and look at the popcorn score. What did the
Yes.
audience think? Who cares about the critics? I want to know what everybody
Yeah, I
else
know.
thought.
Yeah, especially because I mean, and I gotta say, I appreciate TikTok for that reason, even though I know they'll be trying to throw the spoilers out there, but I think we're getting the fans' perspective too, because they're gonna tell you, oh man, you're gonna be in for this, you're gonna enjoy this. And I think ultimately that's even like what we're doing right now, because we love these, whether it's DC or Marvel. I mean, there's gonna be something for everyone to take away from it, man. And I just, like I said, I loved it. My wife enjoyed it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other wives enjoyed a certain scene in the movie, but you guys can
Flick.
y'all can watch the movie. Y'all can go see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
No,
that's a true test. If the non-comic book people, the non-nerds enjoy the movie, then they've done something right.
no, and I think you definitely they definitely got something there. I think it's going to be another number one for them this weekend. I don't know what they're going up against this weekend. I think we're okay with the big releases until the fall. I was looking right now. I think the next movie is Black Panther, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can look it up. Or the Marvel
I know.
Cinematic. I could spell it right. It'd probably help. Cinematic,
Yeah, I know we got
timeline.
that one. We have Black Panther. We know we're gonna get She-Hulk, the movies, the series, which is
Yeah,
gonna be
and
coming.
actually, I'm thinking She-Hulk looks really good. I'm can't wait for that one.
Yeah, that one. Are we wanting a a solo Hulk movie? Like, can we get a solo movie with Mark Ruffalo?
I think Hollywood might be a little shy after the first two solo Hulk, but honestly, I kind of like the first two Hulk movies. I'm not sure why they got such a bad rap, but then again, I like the Green Lantern movie, so don't judge him for that.
Hey, Green Lantern wasn't bad if you think about it. And I mean, that movie came out definitely a long time ago. I mean, if you think about like how much has changed cinematically, because from looking at the very first Iron Man, not too long ago, I saw the first Iron Man. Look how much effects are now into these newer movies. Like, they were working with what they could at the time.
Yeah, CGI has improved just a little bit.
Yeah.
And people still cry about the CGI. I mean, look at Sonic, the first Sonic movie. People were protesting before it even came out. And they've been doing the same thing with She-Hulk, crying about that CGI.
Yeah, but I mean, we all saw the picture of the first Sonic. I mean, that one needed to cry.
That was kind of little disturbing. So much so they even put it in the Chip and Dale movie.
Hey, man, he still became popular, man. I mean, he had to go
Sonic.
to a movie.
He should get his own movie.
I mean, he does. He needs the what happens when I wasn't as fast as the real Sonic. Like, I don't know, man. Give him his own timeline.
Do
Like,
it a what if? What if they
oh,
didn't change Sonic?
I think there would be a lot of traumatized kids and not a lot of people buying the Sonic the Hedgehog video games. Speaking of Sonic the Hedgehog, they really have timed it out well. I saw they got a new video game that's going to be coming out for Sonic the Hedgehog, and I was thinking about it. Like, of course, you would release a new video game with all the success it had at as far
Oh
as a
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, like I said, the first movie, I was really surprised how much I liked it, and the second one, I had no issues with it either. It was a pretty solid movie in my eyes.
Yeah, no, I mean it was good, man. I mean, and then just Knuckles overall, and Idris Elba. I mean, yeah, you gotta love the combination. But back to Marvel though, I think it is Black Panther that we got coming up. And then after that, I think it's just mainly Disney Plus series that we could look at. I did see before we jumped on that they are looking at doing a second season of Hawkeye. Hawkeye will be getting a second season. They did
Huh.
sign up Haley Stanfield for another season.
I really liked it. So are we going to see more Kingpin? Or are they going to bring in the other street level guys like Daredevil and the rest of those Defenders? Is that how they're going to bring those guys into the MCEU?
I would think that that's probably your best bet to go about it because I mean these series, I mean, like the Jessica Jones, the Daredevils, and even Luke Cage that were on Netflix. I mean, this would be a good way to really tie them in and I guess in a sense test the waters because if they want to add these shows and run with them on Disney Plus, this would be the perfect opportunity to kind of test the waters.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see if Disney is going to go with the Punisher. He's a little anti-Disney in his mannerisms and behaviors. So
Yeah. Between that one and Deadpool, I'm wondering what they could do.
yeah, because Deadpool, he's rated R. So I don't know.
Oh, Disney, that's why you guys make all the big bucks. You got to make such the tough decisions as if you're going to put Deadpool. I mean, if they haven't put part 1 and 2 on Disney Plus, I don't see them doing that
Yeah,
anytime soon.
yeah. I mean, they just put the Netflix stuff over there, within the past month or so.
Yeah.
So maybe they're working on it. Maybe they're getting the rights. I don't know.
By the way, you mentioned a couple of episodes ago about the shorts that we've
Yeah,
Marvel shorts. Got a chance to see a couple of them. Man, like
they're well produced and they really fill in like in between the timeline type stuff. Which ones
yeah,
did you watch?
I watched because you had mentioned the one about the whole Albuquerque with Thor, which led up to Thor.
Right.
So we
Mhm.
watched that one, and I got to say it's impressive to me because it's like if you really think about it, and this is what's kind of got me kind of thinking, do I want to go back and watch? Because then I watched the old Iron Man, and I'm like, okay, I want to watch some of these, but you think about it, man, like this could have they could fit in the movies,
Yeah.
like I mean, and
Colton's
these are
road trip.
right, like, these are shorts that if you guys go check it out. Like I said, we talked about it a couple of episodes ago. But if you guys are looking for something, I know Miss Marvel just had their season finale. But if you guys are looking to still keep up with like the Marvel stuff, go check those out, man. They were cool. So that was a great recommendation.
Did you watch the one with the Mandarin?
Yes. Oh,
Oh, I love Ben Kingsley anyway.
yeah. I
And
mean, he's hilarious. So, I mean, I don't know. I honestly think, we need to see more of him and Shang-Chi. I think we need to get more of him and some other whether I don't know what they plan on doing with that side of the franchise, but I don't know, man. Make him a secondary character in that franchise. I think he'd be perfect.
give him accidentally get a hold of some of the Shatari technology.
Just to see him figure it out. Oh man, it was no, guys, go check that out. And I'm pretty sure you'll be fairly entertained. And then, by the time She-Hulk rolls around, you'll have some more. That's the one thing though. It's like there's so many things out there. Like I haven't I haven't even started Miss Marvel. I still need to start that one. But you do hear a lot of people say it is a little bit of a younger demographic. It's a younger audience, but it still looks intriguing enough to go see.
Yeah, I think I've watched the first 2 episodes of that, and then I fell behind catching up on other stuff, and
Yeah.
I need to go back and finish it up because supposedly they introduced mutants. They used that show to introduce mutants into the MCU.
Okay. So
because
yeah,
before, they didn't have the rights to use the word mutants, which is why they called Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch the twins.
yeah. It's crazy
So
how just a little word could just be like, oh,
legality, yeah.
how crazy. I don't know if you think about like having that word trademarked, like
You can't say mutants. We own that word.
right? Even the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got to pay us some money. There is actually mentioning Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There is a animated movie that is coming to Netflix next month. Saw the trailer yesterday. Looks pretty good. I mean, definitely for the younger audience. But it looks like it seems almost something out of a comic book, just looking at the trailer. I'm excited for it, man. I really am, because I believe Seth Rogen is the executive producer for this one.
He seems to be producing a lot of stuff lately, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We don't want to see his face, but we want to see we want to see what goes through his mind. That comedic mind of his will do no wrong.
Yeah, see, when you give a nerd money, you see what happens.
Hey, we would love some money.
Yeah, I would make Ninja Turtles if I had the money.
Man, I'll make whatever you guys want me to. You want a reboot of Ninja Turtles, the very, very first one? We'll figure it out. I'll just settle for a couple millions of dollars.
Yeah, he's doing it right. I can't fault anything he's done. Most of the stuff he's touched has turned to gold. So,
whatever you're doing, good luck to him. So,
yeah.
Troy, anything you're catching? Anything that we have been like? Is there anything that you're watching right now? What's got you glued right now to some of these streaming sites?
I'm good. I'm getting ready to go watch after this the newest episode of Better Call Saul.
Okay.
They left it on a cliffhanger, and I need to go find out what happened. I just finished up The Boys, another Seth Rogen produced deal, and oh man, you want to talk about for adults only? Don't let your kids watch The Boys.
I was just about to ask you that, man, because I've been seeing a lot of social media push on this. A lot of people are liking it, and I'm like, like I haven't seen it yet, so I'm curious as to go watching it. And they say
they're in season 3, so it's kind of how I imagine superheroes really would be. Most of them would probably be corrupt. If you got that kind of power, who's going to stop you? And that's what happens. There's a few good ones, but for the most part, there are a lot of them are self-serving, and they're only in it for themselves.
So pretty much me as a superhero.
They do some stuff in there. I'm just like, my jaw dropped, and I was like, oh wow.
Okay, not me as a superhero. Keep in mind, guys, I haven't seen this. Someone's like, oh my god, no, I haven't seen it yet. So
yeah, it's even in the very first episode, they start right out making your jaw drop.
Okay,
so I won't spoil it for you, but A Train starts that first one off, and I'm just like, oh wow.
So that one's on Amazon Prime for people to go and check out. So that's one that I'll have to go and see. It's always my curiosity for it, because it is superhero based, and so I'm like, I'd like, when it comes to that, and I figured it would be a different take, and obviously with
oh yeah. Well, Garth Ennis is also the same guy who did Preacher, which Seth Rogen also produced for TV over on AMC, I think. The guy, I don't know, he doesn't think on the same level as other people. He's got some violent tendencies in his writing.
Do you think we'll ever get Seth Rogen as a superhero?
I hope not.
Well, you saw the Green Hornet.
Yeah, exactly. I guess everything he touches doesn't turn to gold, because that was that was bad.
I mean, if you can give Vin Diesel a line to make millions of dollars by saying "I am Groot," I'm sure we can figure something out for Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Vin Diesel also did Bloodsport.
I wasn't a fan of it.
I'm sorry, Bloodshot, not Bloodsport.
Bloodshot. Yeah, that
Bloodshot. It was wasn't his best.
No, it really wasn't. But then again, I mean, even him trying to remake the Triple X movies, the Return of whatever he did, that one. I mean, it was never going to reach the success of the first one. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah. I mean, I'd say you got to give Seth something in the MCU. I mean, there's got to be something out there that we could give him.
There's some characters I'm sure that he would fit.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I want to see that.
We got a couple more minutes. What do we got going on with Comic-Con? Of course, we're getting closer and closer. August is just right around the corner. What's the latest with Comic-Con?
I just put up a video for the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase sent to us.
Yeah.
You know, promoting his appearance there. He wants all his fans to know to come out and see him. So I put that up. I believe I told you that we already added a couple. We added the cosplay girl, Ashley Elliott.
Yes.
And Joe Staten, I already told you about. And, you know, I don't know if we're going to get any other guests this close to time, but if they do, we'll let you guys know.
I know I actually have the list in another studio. We were looking over at it, and I was telling everybody, like, yeah, Ted DiBiase is going to be there. And that's the main one I want to go see is Ted DiBiase. And then also with all the cosplay and everything going on. And I left my list, and I told myself, now that I'm all thinking about what was I supposed to have, I had the list of everybody, and I was like, well, that's smart. It's not in the studio that I needed it to be in.
Yeah. Well, talking about Hawkeye, Alex Panovic was in the Hawkeye series, so they might be bringing him back for the second season.
Yeah.
With the Tracksuit Mafia. So
that'd be a good one. That's a possibility as cosplay for the big show. We could be dressed as the Mafia. So
and tracksuits, some big gold chains, and
that'd be nice and comfortable, and it's the easiest costume that you can have.
You just got to learn that Russian dialect and call everybody bro.
Yeah, that might be tough,
hey, bro.
Hey, bro, that might be tough, bro. If people still want to get the VIPs, they don't got that much time, right?
Right. VIP and weekend tickets are going to be sold online only. We're probably going to cut off sales here at the end of this month, end of July, because we want to mail those tickets out, those badges out, so that you don't have to wait in line to come in. You can just come in, flash your badge, and then go straight to the swag redemption area, and you won't get stuck in that bottleneck at the front door.
Yeah, no, that's good. And then last week, if you guys go check out the episode last week, you had some of the swag on. So you had the shirts, you showed us the lanyards, and even the pins that it's coming with.
Shirt, lanyard, pin. There's going to be a water bottle. What else? The VIPs will also get events guide. You'll be invited to the VIP party Friday night, which, you know, most of the celebrities, the featured guests, will be showing up on Friday night, and they're always invited to VIP party. And we usually have, you know, one or two show up, so you can rub elbows with those guys before the event, even a little more intimate.
That's right. Ted DiBiase, I need you to take the title and be there.
Maybe you talk him into slamming you right there at the VIP party.
Oh, man, if he could lift me, man, that'd be impressive. I'm just telling you that right now. I don't want him to get hurt before the weekend. Unfortunately, because of Joey, Ted DiBiase will not be appearing because apparently he tried to lift Joey. Troy, I saw something cool before we go that you guys posted on Zia Comics on Facebook. You guys got something pretty cool that's coming out with with comic books and something online. I saw a post from you guys. Can't even remember it right now. That you guys are going to be doing something with the. I don't know. I can picture the logo. It's like a white and black logo.
Oh, with Whatnot?
Yes, Whatnot. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes. So talk about that.
Well, Whatnot is a online live auction type platform for collectibles. They deal only in collectibles, and I believe they started like in 2019, right before COVID, and they have just gotten huge. They're like, you know, think of eBay but live auction. So, you know, we'll be sitting here and you can bid on the stuff while I'm talking about it and explaining it to you. And usually the auction, you can make them last like up to 5 minutes, but usually they're around a minute or two. And the cool thing is, you know, on eBay, a lot of people like to wait till the last second and try to snipe that win, right? Well, you can set it up in Whatnot. If somebody comes in, swoops in at the end and tries to steal it, it'll add 10 seconds more on so that other person can come back and try to win it back. It'll keep, every time somebody does that, it'll keep adding 10 seconds. So, you know, you don't get dorked over at the end.
Man, I'll tell you, you don't know how many times that has happened to me where I've been on something at the last minute. It's like, okay, and then you come back and they they waited that last minute, they took over and then they bought it. I don't know how many times that's happened to me, man,
A
but
lot. Yeah. Well, they
especially
took care of that. They took
especially
care of
for
that.
collectible items. There's something that you want. I can't remember. There was a jersey I tried to buy years ago, and I was like, I want my hands on that jersey, and it just got. I was like, okay, I guess
Yeah,
not.
you're the winner up until the last minute, and then somebody jumps in and grabs it.
No, that's cool, man. I mean, I think that's. I mean, especially for those out there that are trying to get their hands on something unique. I mean, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's only it's collectible stuff only. I mean, everything from sports cards down to Pokemon and comic books. You name it. If it's a collectible, it's on that platform.
Yeah,
So we're going to try that out and see how it works.
Things like this won't be on there. Just a article that Jackie and I were in. You won't find that on there, but not really.
Unless you sign it, then call it a collectible.
Yeah, no, that might actually bring down the value if I sign it. It's good. It's like probably worth 50 cents right now. If I was to put my signature, it would drop down to like 10 cents. So we'll just leave that. I actually put that in the studio. People are like, why? No.
Because.
Yeah, because why can't I? I want to stare at a picture of.
Are you in an article? No, you're not.
If they want to keep up with you guys on your socials, how can they stay in touch with you guys?
We're all over the interwebs, man. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and last but not least, the TikTok.
That's right. Go follow them on the TikTok and everything else that they got going on. And stay up to date. And don't forget to get those tickets, those VIP tickets to Las Cruces Comic-Con. It is going to be coming up and you don't want to get left out the dust. Make sure you get those tickets before they sell out and then you're waiting in line. So yeah, go get them now. Guys, you can always stay up to date with me. Follow me on Instagram, Joey on the FM, the same for TikTok. Also follow the Big Show on Instagram, Big Show FM, and Hot 103's Big Show on Facebook. Guys, this has been another edition of Zia Comic Weekly. We'll catch you here next Thursday.
Later, nerds.